Hi guys, it's Ray. I am starting a new cup today, and I'm going to do a topper for this one. And this is a different type of lid than I normally use for my toppers. Usually when I do a topper, it ends up staying open all the time, so I have to, because you're only going to be able to use a straw with it. So I have to try and get this off somehow. That way I can fill in all of this with my topper stuff. So, this is going to be my cup. I'm going to do a 30-ounce skinny straight. This is my lid. And I have some straw pieces. I don't need huge pieces, but I'm going to need 2 for this one. I like to put the silicone straw in because it keeps any accidental dripping from getting in the drinking section. I mean, I try and stay a little bit away from the opening anyways, but... Okay. So, there's that. I have some ice cubes. And this is going to be my vinyl for this one. I was going to do yellow and a lemon slice, but I realized that in reality this doesn't have any real lemon slice on it. It's all orange and lime and grapefruit, and so I'm going to do a lime wedge for the topper. I was going to do a round because this has rounds in it, but I decided that was going to be way too tall because this is a 30. And I'm going to use this light green glitter over the yellow base, so we'll see what that does. This is from Love All Bling. I don't even think this has an actual color because it was part of a set, like Halloween or Easter pastels. So, but I think it'll be okay with this. So, I'm going to put a strip of this at the bottom, a small strip of this, and then the summer loading decal. This is from the last Butterfly Lane Design subscription box. So, that'll be up there. And then this will be the rest of it. And I'll have 5 inches to work with, so I'm thinking 3.5 of this, 1.5 of this. I'm going to put a little piece of parchment down here and have this ready. This set had larger and smaller ice cubes. My current one from Temu only has small ones, but that's fine. Grab a measuring cup. We are going to use the Hyperspeed Tumbler Glaze from Artistry Epoxy. This is brand new to the market. They're taking pre-orders now. It's not actually available to ship right now, but it will be in the beginning of July. So I'm going to pour. I'm nervous about this one because this goes right off the back. Alright, so I'm going to let that sit a minute. I'm going to put some on my tumbler and spread it as thin as I can. So I'm going to get my whole hand in here. I know that annoys some people, but and we'll see what color we get. I'm kind of hoping that because this is like a opalescent holographic type, that it's going to keep a little bit of all the colors of the vinyl. Okay. So I'm going to figure out where I might want to put my lime. I'm going to put it on this side. So I'm going to start with a couple of small pieces to kind of wedge that up. I'm going to come in with some bigger ones. I don't think that'll block the straw at all. This one looks maybe fittable here. Okay. So I'm gonna drizzle a little bit of this over the top to try and kind of fill in. And I'm okay with kind of fully coating my fruits. And I'm just going to catch whatever's dripping over the edge. And just really clean that up. Okay. Oops, sorry. Bumped you with my head. So, that's going to be that part. I'm going to let it sit and dry thoroughly. So, I'm not ready to move on with the cup itself. I don't want to put a coat on it and then let it sit overnight because I'll have to sand it. but the lid is dry. I figured we'd take a look at that. I'm going to pull these out. Let's see how I did. I do have a little bit of cleanup to try and do in there. So, I didn't quite keep it away from the opening as good as I'd hoped. And hopefully this ice cube doesn't block a straw. Because I did let that one sneak in a little closer than intended. But usually you can just grab a blade and clean out around that rim a little bit quick before it like fully hard cures. So there we go. I'm gonna grab a straw. It fits, it's just a little bit wonky, but I think it'll be okay. So, excellent. But that is going to be my little lime topper to go with this. I think it's cute. So, I will be back to work on the cup itself shortly. Okay, so I am mixing up 25 mLs of epoxy to flood coat. I shouldn't even say flood coat, but to coat this glitter. I did switch to the CC DIY Turbo because I have more of it, and I want to do a full wrap with the hyperspeed that I have left. So, because I'd like to see how that works with a full wrap. None of these ultra fast sets can be used with any kind of like alcohol ink process, so I'm kind of trying to stick to like wraps and vinyl and things of that nature. But because I have so much more of the turbo than the hyperspeed, I'm going to do this for these steps. So, and I didn't have to sand, obviously, because this isn't coated. The epoxy is underneath, but you really don't want to let this class of epoxies dry thoroughly. Like cure before you go on to the next coat. You need to keep moving once you've started so they can bond. If you've let it fully cure, you come back to work on it the next day, you're going to have to sand it. That's just the way it works with these. Okay, so this is all ready for getting wrapped and whatever else it needs at this point. I didn't trim up my ends yet or cut these down. So, why, you ask? I don't have an answer for that. I just didn't. Simple as that. So I'm going to kind of overlay it and just mark it with a pencil. I'm going to scooch this a minute so you can see. Peel it up, cut a corner. it down. And I'm gonna this way. I was trying to figure out if there was more of an up and down or not. And there kind of is, kind of isn't. So I'm gonna hold that in place. It's anchored. Did pretty good. Pretty good. Alright, so we're going to put the back to the back. And hope I left room for this, and I did. And we're going to do that same hinge type method for this. It's kind of tough with this text because it's not it's not a flat text. Does that make sense? It's not all straight at the bottom. It's not a lined bottom. So there's that. Let's see how our little lid's gonna look with it. I think it's cute. So I'm gonna pick a pinstripe. I don't have a lime green. I only have this for green. But I feel like it reflects, so. And I kind of want to stick in the greens since I did the topper with the green. Okay, so I'm mixing my epoxy. I am not gonna put any kind of additive in this one. I think I'm just gonna let it ride. Kind of thought about it, but I don't think I want to. Okay, so this is dry to the touch. Probably does need one more coat because I can kind of feel, well, yeah, a little bit of the pinstriping here and there. And And somehow I did get a little piece of vinyl or something. But I do want to sand this little bump down. But I can do that later. This is how it looks from the top. Straw in. So, but there's that summer loading. And I absolutely love the glitter color over that base. I like how the yellow base toned it down more towards the yellow than the green. And how the iridescent picks up the rest of the colors in the vinyls. And I just think it is super cute all the way around. So that is it for this one. I will get to sanding at some point here. The whole thing will need sanding before I put another coat on. But, yep. So, cute summer tumbler and topper.